Namaste and welcome to Organiser YouTube channel. Today, in this special edition of Meet the Author, we have a personality who has been a veteran journalist, then information commissioner and author, Shri Uday Mahurkar ji. Uday bhai is, we fondly call him, has till now written three important books, two on Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his idea of governance, and one a seminal work on actually Veer Savarkar and his the person who could have prevented partition, a totally different dimension of Savarkar that he brought out, and now he has uh, come out with another important book which is well researched, forward given by Yogi Adityanath, preface given by Hemant Biswa Sarma, My Idea of Nation First. Udayji, actually redefined unalloyed nationalism, what he calls. And there he has handled, many critical questions which span over the pre-partition situation in Bangladesh to what happened during partition and the present day, even the debate on what is called as the Muslim question that has been the primary question, and also he has dealt with the entire discourse on the idea of Hindu Rashtra, starting from Bharat Sevak Sangh to RSS to present day debates. So let us discuss the book My Idea of Nation First with the author Uday Mahurkar ji. Uday bhai, बहुत namaskar and welcome to Organiser YouTube channel. First of all, after Savarkar and the person who could have prevented partition, why this particular book on My Idea of Nation First?
You see, I saw that there are many false narratives which are still there in the society, Correct? And there is a narrative war which is going on. The positive narratives are certainly positive, Even there is an angularity. I think we should rise above those angularities. So through this book, I have tried to see nation's problems by rising over the narrative war. That is my idea. Nation first. Today nation first, many people are talking about it, it's good. But somewhere some people see their own benefit also in nation first. I am talking about a nation first, where a person should be prepared to suffer for the nation. He should not do anything which will damage the nation. In the process, he himself might suffer.
Unfortunately, there has been a contestation about the idea of Bharat itself. What constitutes Bharat? And you have dealt with it. Earlier also you have dealt with when you wrote about Savarkar. And in this book also,
yes.
You have spoken about. And you have, interestingly, you have started with Swami Pranavananda's path and Bharat Sevak Sangh and present day, the entire developments in Bangladesh, what is happening. In this scenario, how do you perceive the nationhood of Bharat? What is your idea of Bharat being a nation, and what do you mean by keeping nation first approach?
I think it's a question which would take hours to answer, I will quote an episode involving Veer Savarkar. When Sir Stafford Cripps, heading the Cripps mission to handle the partition problem of this country, came in the early 40s. It is said that Savarkar, the discussion which Savarkar had with him was so effective that he had no answer to Savarkar's what Savarkar said. Cripps said that it is we who united India. It is we, you were broken states. It is we who united India. What Savarkar told him. कि your idea of...
That is what Nehru also propagated. The India is nation in the
But
making.
what Savarkar said. Savarkar said, in nutshell,
Hmm.
that Diwali, Dashera, Holi, they are celebrated across the country from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Kutch to Kamrup. Dresses are different of those people. Languages are different. But there is a culture which binds them together. So this has been a nation for hundreds of years, thousands of years. That is what Savarkar told Stafford Cripps. So my idea of nationhood is you have to respect the core culture of this country. You might belong to any religion. Correct? Now, for example, I have seen many Wahhabis in this country not doing namaste, not taking prasad. That is separatism. One might say that my religion doesn't allow me to. No. Nation is greater than religion. So here I have also tried to, through a chapter, I have also tried to do a direct dialogue with the Muslims. Look here. If your hero is Alauddin Khilji, Aurangzeb, Muhammad Tughlaq, Lodhi, Kutubuddin Aibak, then you can't be loyal to this country. If your hero is Mahavir Chakra Brigadier Usman, who laid down his life for India, if your hero is Ibrahim Khan Gardi, who remained loyal to Marathas in the third battle of Panipat, had to pay a very heavy price with his life rather. Correct? So, even today, in Kashmir, 2 Muslims, if 10 people die at the hands of terrorists, 2 are Muslims on an average. So, those can be your heroes. And I have made a suggestion in this book that these names which are still there of the roads in Delhi, Lodhi Road, Tughlaq Road, Babar Road, their names should be changed and they should be renamed after patriotic Muslim heroes, It could be Usman, it could be Gardi, it could be... There are quite a few in modern times. In medieval period, there are few, very less. But then thereafter you find quite a few, So you could name the roads after them. So what I have spoken about in this book is that Muslim community is divided into 3 parts. Most radical, less radical and moderate. Moderate part is small. Most radical you have to fight. Less radical you have to keep them under control, keep an eye on them and keep the door of mainstream open for them. And moderate you should carry along with you.
We'll come to the dialogue with Muslims, which is the last part of your book. But, you have picked up a few personalities in your book.
Yes.
And why Bharat Sevak Sangh and why Swami Pranavananda as the starting point? If you start with why that path is important with if?
It is very important. You see, it is the nation's great misfortune. This Pranavanandaji's message never went across the country the way the messages of Swami Vivekananda and Sri Aurobindo went. Now, you see, there is no comparison between saints. Correct? But then, the easiest message to understand was of Swami Pranavananda. He used to say, we should have bhakti in one hand and shakti in another hand, in the other hand. Bhakti without shakti cannot save you from demons. And vice versa, you yourself can become a demon if you have shakti and no bhakti. Correct? This was his understanding. And then he made, I have been trying to analyze why his message did not spread. I have come to 2-3 conclusions. One, he was a very deshi kind of sant, he had never read English. So there is no writing in his handwriting. All his thoughts have been conveyed by his followers.
Disciples.
Secondly, he had an obsession of making saints from Dalits and Dalits and Adivasis, Vanvasis, tribals. Correct? I think if any one saint leave aside Arya Samaj, has created saints out of Dalits and lower caste. In the highest number, it is Swami Parmananji and his Bharat Seva Ashram Sangh. Correct. So, and thirdly, he had a clear conception of Bharat. You see, in 1941, 40 rather, he went to jail for Hindu Mahasabha. And he opposed the Muslim appeasement policies during Gandhiji's period. Not a small thing. So he had a basic understanding of Bharat, Correct? So I feel that if had his message spread, many of the problems we were having on the cultural front, maybe we would not have had. Achha, one more thing which I would like to add, which did not make him very popular, he used to lay great accent on character. He used to say that it's a very strong statement, person who saves his semen to the maximum, he is my foremost disciple. Now, this is a very big statement. Correct? So, I think the path which he chose was difficult for a common man to follow. This could be the reason. And secondly, his, this entire strategy to make saints out of Dalits and tribals, in those days, also must be one of the reasons why he did not become very popular.
Maybe even his his area of operations being the mainly in the Bengal and the other part of Bengal rather,
correct.
present day Bangladesh. That may be one of the...
That could be the reason. But
one
thing which I have said in this, and which I had discussed with Manya Dr. Mohanji Bhagwat also. You see, there is a book called Sangeeta, which lays emphasis on how a Swayamsevak Bharat Seva Ashram Sangh should be. Now, it is very close to what RSS preaches, to a Swayamsevak. So, Dr. Hedgewar was studying in Calcutta, correct? So, I asked Manya Mohanji once, was Dr. Saab influenced by Swami Paramananji? Because both were again supporters of Anshulan Samiti. Correct? So, they might have met also. There is no record. So, what Manya Mohanji told me was that you come to Nagpur and go through our archives, it is possible. Get my point.
You have, dealt with few more personalities. One is Shivaji, that is your one of the earlier published articles, and you have argued that Shivaji hasn't got his due. Recently, we celebrated Shivaji's Jayanti. Fortunately, I could see at least in Agra, in Delhi, at some point. But why do you think that, why when it comes to the idea of nation first, where do you think that Shivaji's vision and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj as a character becomes important for this nation first idea?
I am writing another book which is on Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. You see, because of our politics, Chhatrapati Shivaji could not get out of Maharashtra. Of course, we are seeing some change in the last 11 years. Correct? Everything revolves around Chhatrapati Shivaji in Maharashtra. Those who don't follow even 10% of Shivaji's principles, they swear by Shivaji Maharaj. Entire this Maratha targeting of Brahmins again centered around Chhatrapati Shivaji. Now, Chhatrapati Shivaji, one thing he is known is for unification of Hindu society. His army was a unique army. He had given space to even Dalits, Mahars in that army, So, because of this very, I would say, questionable politics of Maharashtra, Shivaji Maharaj could not get out of Maharashtra.
Hmm.
And you had governments, you see, even British were very afraid of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's Mahima.
Hmm.
Correct? When Lokmanya Tilak started, actually the importance of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj came before us through the historical societies which have preserved all the papers in Maharashtra and through Lokmanya Tilak.
Hmm.
Lokmanya Tilak started celebrations, Shivaji Jayanti celebrations, correct? We have got letters, secret letters, where British are very alarmed. They say, this is dangerous.
Hmm.
So Shivaji is like a call to nationalism, his name itself means that, correct? So we could not analyze Shivaji Maharaj the way we should have. How I look at him. You see, I feel that you can even ask a question that is he the greatest Hindu ruler of last 1000 years?
Hmm.
Now there are many big rulers, Rana Kumbha was there. There is one Kapilendra from Odisha. He was an emperor.
Vijayanagar itself was.
Vijayanagar is correct. But then why I ask this question to myself? Not because I'm a Maratha and I believe in nation first. Even my brother is wrong, he's wrong. Correct? So it is not out of my Maratha, there is no caste connection is this. But I am so inspired by his thoughts, You see, when he died in 1680, his kingdom's length was 1600 kilometers. It started from South Gujarat, present day Valsad district, and ended 200 kilometers beyond Chennai.
Up to Jinji.
Beyond Jinji, 40 kilometers beyond Jinji. Correct. Now this trip is 1600 kilometers. The width was less. But then I have done some work on this. Vijayanagar you call empire. This area which Chhatrapati Shivaji ruled when he died is equivalent to the area of Vijayanagar empire. Only thing, the shape is different. It was spread, Vijayanagar empire was spread on all four sides. This was one strip. Correct. Now, these left historians have always, I would say, even glorified Muslim invaders. Correct. Who all came from Kabul or around Kabul. Correct. Now, the length, the distance of Kabul to Delhi is less than 1400 kilometers even today. If you take a car, if you got a visa, if you go via Lahore, it is around 1400 kilometers. Ghur, from where Muhammad Ghori came, if you take a car and go to Ghur from here, it is 1525 kilometers. So Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's kingdom, in terms of length, was longer than these people, than this distance between Delhi and Ghur, Delhi and Kabul. Correct. Secondly, you see, because of bondage under, cruel Muslim rulers, during the Sultanate period particularly, we lost many things. One of them was Chanakya Niti also. I call Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj as a reviver of Chanakya Niti in the medieval era. Correct? Greatest builder of forts. Nobody has built so many forts in the last 1000 years. Reviver of navy. After the downfall of Chola Empire, we did not have any navy, structured navy. Correct? Correct. Then one of the greatest social reformers. He reconverted Bajaji Nimbalkar, the ruler of Fulton, who had embraced Islam.
Netaji Palkar.
Netaji Palkar. No, in case of Bajaji Nimbalkar, he gave his daughter to his. Today also, the main problem with reconversion is that after.
रोटी बेटी व्यवहार कैसे होगा?
रोटी व्यवहार भी हो जाता है, बेटी व्यवहार नहीं होता. So Shivaji should rank as one of the greatest rulers of the 1000.
घर वापसी in the modern context.
Absolutely. And you see, I revere him. When I was a child, children always get fantasy. I used to get this fantasy that if my Kuldevta Khandoba, Martan Bhairav, tells me that, Uday, you can ask for a boon, Vardhan. So I said, I will ask one Vardhan, ki please uh, uh, help me in having a 15-minute meeting with Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and another 15-minute meeting with Maharaj Pratap. So my research on Shivaji Maharaj is very deep and very dispassionate also. Like one chapter we are trying to do is pre-Shivaji Hindustan. So there we are not trying to, downplay earlier rulers, Kumbha, this Kapilendra, Vijayanagar Krishna Dev Rai. But then these qualities which I mentioned are there in very few people. You see, within 36 years of Krishna Dev Rai's death, Vijayanagar Empire was gone. Correct. Chhatrapati Shivaji's what he left is evident even today.
No, in fact, it was, from Atak to Katak.
Yes.
After, almost till 1818,
was
in his name, tax was collected in Delhi.
Correct.
Many people do not realize.
Yes.
People generally talk about Panipat.
Correct.
Within 10 years, Dattaji Shinde captured Delhi.
Maharaj Shinde.
Maharji Shinde.
Yes.
And
he was surveyor of Delhi Sultan.
Delhi Sultan. So, my Bahadur Shah Zafar was hardly a nominal king when he left in 1857. So
before that, Shah Alam II, virtually puppet of Maharaj Shinde.
So that is about. But another important persons,
what Gujrat Sarkar has called Shivaji? A nation builder and the greatest constructive genius of medieval India. Now, Gujrat Sarkar sometimes has been very critical of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and not very justifiable. Same person in the end says that he was the greatest constructive genius of medieval India and a nation builder.
See, unfortunately, it has happened in the post-independent India that most of our national figures, icons,
were dwarfed.
Have been, unfortunately reduced to certain identities. You talked about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
Just a warrior, Maratha warrior.
Maratha warrior or a rebellion or a fighter against Aurangzeb. That's limited to it.
But there was a strategy behind it.
But unfortunately, that has happened with many of our icons.
Yes.
And one of them you have dealt with is Dr. Ambedkar.
Kapilendra, we don't know. Kapilendra, his northwestern boundary was Dhar, almost to Indore. His southern boundary, southwestern boundary entered Karnataka. And he invaded Jaunpur. I mean, I'm really astonished that how come that we did not know.
Because we because of this Delhi centricism, we have assumed that, for almost 800 years, either Arabs or Turks or Mongols have ruled and that Sultanate. So we assume that entire India was controlled by them.
Correct.
Because they were ruling Delhi. Which was not the fact. In fact, when British arrived on even till 1857,
they have taken reins from Marathas. Majorly.
So Mahadev Govind Ranade has written a book on this rise and fall of Maratha power, and he is actually arguing this against the British historians that
we also wrote in our book.
But
Savarkar also said
yes. But the point that I want to make is unfortunately most of our national icons and national figures are reduced to few caste or regional identities. You have dealt with many of them. You have dealt with Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. You have dealt with Bhagat Singh. You have, dealt with, of course, Savarkar, which is your favorite thing. So, in nation first approach, how to deal with this issue, of reducing our icons. Like, for example, when I read Dr. Ambedkar, his understanding of geostrategic, his understanding of entire Cold War politics, his understanding of communism, his understanding of radical Islam, his understanding of economics. His PhD was in economics.
Great economist.
then as an educationist. There are so many, but unfortunately, the moment we talk of Dr. Ambedkar, either it is reduced to a scheduled caste or this constitution maker. Of course, these contributions are important, but larger part of his personality as a national figure are undermined.
I think there was a conspiracy against Bharat. There is one chapter on Abul Kalam Azad in this book. Correct. I mean, I hold a very different view from most others, even in the Hindutva movement. I have proved in this chapter. It is titled Abul Kalam Azad and Deoband School from the Eyes of Pakistan. Correct. I think this was purposely done. You see, the first 4 ministers were Muslims, education ministers. And the ultimate icing on this, down India, or down with Hindus and down with India strategy was Nurul Hasan. He brought about a communion between leftists,
radical Islam and the radical communists.
Which became a very deadlier combination than before. So there was a conspiracy. Coming to how we can do it, I think one area where our government should have been more active was education policy. I think in the very first year, we should have started the exercise, which we started 5 years later. I think education policy should have been taken as a first.
That's where K. Munshi and R.C. Mujumdar got sidelined, and entire project of writing cultural history of India was also put in the back burner.
Yes,
but again, why Ambedkar, Dr. Ambedkar is so important for you in the Nation First approach, because you have dealt with his thoughts on Pakistan and
Ambedkar has been when you look at the narrative which has been going on in the country, Ambedkar and Hindutva forces were against each other all through. Now, this is totally wrong. They had divergent views on a few issues, like Hindu Code Bill. But there are many issues where they were one. You see, when Sheikh Abdullah went to Nehru with the proposal of 370, Article 370, Nehru said that you convince Ambedkar. So he went to meet Ambedkar. What Ambedkar told him in a nutshell? Ambedkar told him, look here, you want us to protect your borders, give you subsidized ration, help you with everything, and then you say that we won't have entry there in Kashmir. I cannot commit such treachery with my motherland. See the choice of words. Correct. Then
and he asked, what is so special about your state that I would not offer this to other princely states?
Yes. Secondly, when the proposal of Panchayat elections came, Pujya Guruji and Ambedkar were on the same platform. They both held the view that taking elections to the level of village,
even linguistic reorganization,
will yes,
on China,
yes,
on many issues,
China also. China mein to, on China, Savarkar, Ambedkar and Guruji were one, almost one. Correct. Then there are many issues. Muslims, of course, on radical Muslims, to Ambedkar was, I think, more severe than Savarkar, I would say.
Another important aspect that you have dealt with, and as I said, it's your favorite area, that is Veer Savarkar. And you have extensively dealt with in your earlier book, but that was mainly related to Savarkar's strategic thinking.
Correct.
Here you have dealt with the hatred about Savarkar.
Correct.
Why do you think, even till Mrs. Gandhi, of course, Mr. Nehru must be having some grudges against Savarkar, but on and off.
You see, intellectually, communists and pan-Islamists are very strong. They are very strong. They are able to see what is in our benefit and what is not in our benefit. Correct. Now, today's Congress, after the death of, you see, there is a difference between today's Congress and the Congress when Rajiv Gandhi was there. This is B team of Muslim League,
Hmm.
this Congress. As it is, Congress was always sold out to Muslims, I mean, we have said that this Muslim appeasement policies of Congress from day one.
Hmm.
We have questioned in our book, Veer Savarkar, the man who could have the man who could have prevented partition. Ki after having given a nation to Muslims on their demand, Indian Muslims,
Hmm.
why should pro-Muslim policies, implemented in this country and forced on the Hindus?
Hmm.
Why at least 3 temples, Ayodhya, Mathura and Kashi, should not have come to us fully after 1948, 47? Correct? So, Veer Savarkar is the icon of intellectual Hindutva.
Hmm.
Correct? Acha, this Congress is more pro-Muslim than the earlier one. I think now it's Congress is there for 140 years now. I think at no point of time Congress was so pro-Muslim as it is today. It is almost Muslim League.
Hmm.
Correct? Earlier also, we have said that what Nehruji implemented in India after independence was part 2 of Pakistan resolution of Jinnah.
Hmm.
Part 1 of that resolution was demand for Pakistan. Part 2 was how will India treat those Muslims who live behind in India,
That was
Stay behind in
the
India.
entire debate about Nehru Liaquat Pact, no?
Yes, so
which Shyama Prasad Mukherjee and Dr.
Yes.
Ambedkar both
Yes.
opposed.
yes. So basically, Nehru implemented part 2 of the Pakistan resolution. But this is worse than that. Nehru, at least, you see, of course, he ultimately gave minority status to illegal Muslim society, which was the cradle of Pakistan movement. But when he went there first time, Nehru told them that along with demands comes responsibility also.
Hmm.
Ultimately, he gave in. But then he told them. Now, this Congress is sold out to Muslim community and radical Muslims. It is sold out to Deoband.
Hmm.
Correct? So, the more the thirst for Muslim votes, the more the need to vilify Savarkar.
Hmm.
Savarkar, you see, Savarkar's book Hindutva is the foundation of Hindutva movement, largely. Correct? Congress thinks, or their strategists, and they are backed by Muslim strategists also. They think that if Savarkar's vision spreads
Hmm.
across the country, particularly among the youth, then we will have to close our shops.
Hmm.
Therefore, this hatred for Savarkar,
Hmm.
which was not there before.
Because
And you see,
other-
and Savarkar, when Savarkar spreads, now Savarkar's Hindu manifesto.
Hmm.
Savarkar has been sold as an anti-Muslim villain.
Hmm.
Correct? Whereas, what does his Hindu manifesto say?
Hmm.
It says that in independent India, there will be equal rights for all religions and all castes.
Hmm.
When my book was, when our book, me and my co-author Chirayu Pandit's book, Veer Savarkar, the man who could have prevented partition, was translated in Urdu and it was released. There were about 350 Muslims there in that hall, And I think perhaps I was having the first ever direct dialogue with Muslims. I told them, look here, without self-introspection, there cannot be religious reconciliation. You are seeing what is happening in Pakistan. Ask this question to yourself. Whether India is 1,000 times better country than Pakistan or not.
Hmm.
Correct? And I told them, look here, we have also committed mistakes. Correct? This condemnation of entire Muslim community which is happening, I don't find it very justifiable. But you have committed big blunders.
Hmm.
You have to own their blunders. So my book opens the door for you to enter the mainstream. And I told them that Savarkar, they were surprised that Savarkar's India, there was equal space for all religions.
Hmm.
They were surprised.
No, that is the idea of
So
being
there has
Hindu.
been a misinformation. You see, Savarkar on the last page of his book, what does he say? he says that should the day come where India will be able to dictate terms to the entire world, rather Hindus. Hindus will be able to dictate terms to the entire world. What would be the basis of those terms, He said the basis would not be different from what has been said by Gautam Buddha or what is there in Gita. So in the end, Savarkar also talks about Vasudeva Kundubakam. Acha, in that book, he has used very positive language for Akbar and Darashiko also.
But Chhatrapati Shivaji also, follows that line despite being a very staunch Hindu. And that Hindu simply means respecting all ways of worships.
Correct.
But it doesn't mean that you allow, an intolerant person who doesn't believe even your right to exist.
Correct.
As a kafir to be, recognized.
Absolutely.
But you have dealt with one important question in this book. Though you have mainly articulated it in one of your articles related to the Maratha caste. Caste is a very complicated question in India. And unfortunately, in the modern parlance, whenever we talk about the nation first approach or Hindu as the backbone of nation first approach, Hindu unity is the foundation of, this national security and nation first idea. Right from the, American scholars to, Indian academia, activists, everybody, they bring in the caste question. Even in the recent debate, what Param Pujya Sarsangachalak ji said about the idea of Garvapsi and, most of the Muslims and even Christians in India are basically, from here only, and the way people have reacted to it, right from Madani to Maulana Madani to everybody, it clearly, shows, and immediately from the other side, the question comes, okay, घर वापसी करोगे कौन सी जाति में लाओगे? So you have dealt with related to Maratha caste, and that is also the 96
Udbhav of Maratha caste.
96 Kulin or 96 Kulin Maratha. So where do you see and how to deal with this if we really want to, establish this? On the one hand, there is a caste pride. But on the other hand, there is a caste-based antagonism, which is, prevalent.
Caste is a positive facet of Hinduism. It is division of labor, essentially.
No, but unfortunately now it has turned into in such identity politics.
Caste has largely come after Muslim invasions, which I have explained in this. I think the atrocities which we have found upper caste doing on Dalits and others were not there so much before 1000 years. It is my understanding of how this whole thing has evolved.
But why to deal with separately with the Maratha caste and the Shandno Kulin Maratha?
You see, because there are Rajputs who say that who are Marathas. So I try to define that Maratha caste is born out of the mixture of northern Kshatriyas and southern section of southern people who call themselves Kshatriyas. So I have said that at least 10 to 15 clans in Maratha caste are found in Rajputs also. For example, Mahurkar is Solanki. I am Solanki. Sadunke, what you call in Maharashtra. Nimbalkar is Parmar. Then Tomar is Tor Thakur. They are found in Aurangabad. In Sambhajinagar. Correct? Then Mane is God Rajput. Then Shinde, according to great historian of Gwalior state, Anandrao Bhausef Phalke, Sardar Phalke, he has deduced a lot of evidence and very credible evidence to show that the best Rajputs of UP, best, the very prominent clan in UP, correct? Tilak Chandi best Rajputs are basically, they are Shindes. Correct? So, because Who are Marathas? People don't know in the north. People don't know about Dhanaji Jadhav, Santaji Ghorpade. Now Jadhav is same clan as Bhati, Jadeja and Jadon. The Jadhav of Maharashtra, the Jadon of Karoli or UP, Avagad, the Jadeja of Gujarat, and the Bhati of Jaisalmer. They are the same clan.
Another important parallel that you have drawn is between Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay and Gandhiji. There are many scholars who argue that the Hindutva movement or Sangha needs some icon to equate with. That's why. Are you following the time that what is the reason for bringing in this?
No. My point is that there are two adversaries or two different people. Some of their thoughts might match, So the Gram Vikas vision of Deendayalji and Gandhiji was same. Correct? The economic vision of both the people was same. But otherwise, when it comes to national security and Hindu-Muslim unity, because Gandhiji's slogan was Hindu-Muslim unity at any cost, which became Hindu-Muslim unity at Hindu cost, correct? So I have cited, what I am trying to say is that Deendayal Upadhyay is your original icon, correct? Is the original icon of RSS and BJP. Why should you seek validation from Gandhiji? Gandhiji has done very good things for the country, but nobody can deny that his two principles, Hindu-Muslim unity at any cost, which became Hindu-Muslim unity at Hindu cost, and Sampurna Hinsa. If somebody thrashes you, you don't retaliate. Correct? This definition of Sampurna Hinsa, complete non-violence, has not been given by even Gautam Buddha and Bhagwan Mahavir. Correct? So, nobody can deny that these two factors, beliefs of Gandhiji, played a key role in the partition of this country. On 16th August 1946, Jinnah launched direct action in Calcutta, killing 5,000 to 10,000 Hindus. Correct? And within 1 year, on 14th August 1947, Pakistan came into being. India was partitioned. So Jinnah knew that till Gandhiji is there, if I
Or for
indulge
the
in
violent
violence,
means.
then Congress will not have any answer. So my point is, would Deendayal Upadhyay committed these blunders? So I have cited 10 actions of Gandhiji which Deendayal Upadhyay would have opposed.
Another important dimension that you have brought in your article on Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Savarkar, and you have brought in Bhagat Singh. Very few people, perhaps, another daring, so to say, I should say, you have done that. You have invoked the Arya Samaji roots of Bhagat Singh. Why do you think that is important now?
No. You see, when this vilification of Savarkar started, in my very first debate, which I had in 2003, one left ideologue came with books, saying that Bhagat Singh went to the gallows, haste haste, and Savarkar tendered 10 apologies. So there was an attempt to put Bhagat Singh against Savarkar, against Savarkar. So I have tried to deal with that. In 1927, according to Dhananjay Keer, the first biographer of Savarkar, Bhagat Singh, Rajguru and Sukhdev, all three had come to meet Savarkar in Ratnagiri. Correct? So, Savarkar, Bhagat Singh used to draw inspiration from Savarkar. And one of the 5
inter-revolutionary movement for that matter.
One of the 5 books which were found from his cell on the day of his hanging, was Savarkar's book. 1857, the first war of India's independence. So through this chapter, I have to deal with that,
Now, lastly, Uday bhai, you have,
And Savarkar's apologies. I feel sorry that we are not able to defend him properly, That was Shivaji Niti. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, in his 36-year-old career, had tendered 5 apologies to Organiser, all under his Chanakya Niti plan. Because he had a goal, Hindvi Swarajya, So whenever he used to find that,
no, he's writing very apologetic letters to Afzal Khan.
yes,
Very, if he wouldn't have done
what is the
that,
result?
if he wouldn't have done that, Afzal Khan would not have come to Pratapgarh.
100%.
So it was a tactical move.
It is tactics and Chanakya Niti, So Veer Savarkar has not hidden this also. In his Marathi book, From the Darkness of Andaman, he has said that I have to tell my fellow revolutionaries, look here, we cannot allow ourselves to rot here. We must get out of this prison after tendering apology and start our movement again to uproot Britishers from this country. And Reginald Craddock, the home member of that time, he wrote a letter to the jailer of Cellular Jail, in 1914, where he writes, according to our rule, those who have passed 5 years in rigorous imprisonment, allow them to stay outside. They can stay with their families also. But don't allow Savarkar. Because Savarkar's revolutionary friends are across Europe. They'll come with a ship and they will hijack him from here.
He was marked as the most dangerous category,
Yes.
D category.
Yes.
Uday bhai, lastly, you have dealt entirely, given a separate section on the Indian Muslim debate. Your first section, titled as the Lost Hindu Bastion.
Correct.
It ends with the wages of appeasement, and then you come with the sort of dialogue with different sections
Muslim
of
detent.
Muslims. So, what is the foundation of this debate? Because many people believe that Islam means radicalism.
I won't agree with that. I belong to Gwalior state. My ancestors were Sardars in the Gwalior army. My ancestor had fought in the Battle of Panipat against Tipu Sultan. And we have lived with Muslims. It is not so. There is some part of Islam which is radical. Nobody can deny that. Correct? But then all Muslims are following that part. It is not a correct view. Correct? For example, terrorists, classical terrorists, those who kill innocents, correct? They come from among Wahhabis only, which is Deobandism. What constitutes Wahhabism in this country? Deoband, its missionary wing, Tabligh Jamaat, and Ahle Hadith. These 3 are Wahhabis. Who are Wahhabis? Wahhabis are those who say that praying at Dargah to reach out to Allah is against Islam. It is an import from the Guru Puja tradition of Hindus. Therefore, a Muslim should have direct dialogue with Allah.
It's kufr.
Correct? So, I have tried to explain all that, and you see, one thing which people don't know, when Muslims unite, when Barelvis and Deobandis unite because of excessive condemnation of Islam by Hindus, or ultra right-wingers, there is one thing which happens which nobody knows. There is an internal conversion thing which goes on. Correct? So, a Barelvi or Sufi who is relatively moderate, there is not a single terrorist who comes from Barelvis, classical terrorist. They all come from Wahhabis, correct? So, when they unite because of the fear of Hindus, then Barelvis convert to Wahhabism. Wahhabis never convert to Barelvism or Sufism. So, relatively moderate becomes Chhatrapati. Chhatrapati never becomes moderate.
But why is that, Uday bhai, that you are trying to analyze this it is absolutely true that a Muslim is not a
Monolith.
monolith. But why is it that when it comes to the fundamental questions of nation, national security, our common concerns, the moderate voices do not come out very
No, no. You
prominently?
see, we have a good example in Kashmir.
Hmm.
It was my judgment 15 years ago that once the fear of gun is removed, there are many people who will come and join the mainstream.
Hmm.
Which is what has exactly happened after the removal of 370.
Hmm.
There is a full-fledged de-radicalization program going on in Kashmir. Full-fledged.
Hmm.
Correct? And those people are in touch with me also. Correct? So, you see, Congress has supported Deobandis. Deobandis are radicals.
Hmm.
There are streams in Deobandis also.
Hmm.
Most radical, less radical, and
Hmm.
a small part which wants to enter the mainstream.
Hmm.
But Deobandism is associated with this Wahhabism, and it is on the whole seen as a radical movement.
Hmm.
You see, they have created space at the expense of moderates.
Hmm.
So entire debate is being dominated by them
Hmm.
because of Congress support, which is the biggest disservice that Congress has rendered to India.
Hmm.
It is promoting Deobandism for 60 long years.
Hmm.
All the anti-Muslim policies, anti-Hindu policies,
Hmm.
pro-Muslim policies which were implemented
Hmm.
by Congress,
Hmm.
they were all done because of the pressure of Deobandis. This nation cannot forget. Correct? And when there is, when there is atmosphere is relaxed, then they are sworn enemies of each other. There are 500 FIRs in the country filed by them against each other, by Deobandis against Barelvis, Barelvis against Deobandis. And in Gujarat, in many states, there are boards outside Barelvi Masjid, Sufi Masjid.
Hmm.
देवबंदी ढोंगी देवबंद और तबलीग जमात के ढोंगियों को यहाँ आना मना है.
Hmm.
इस मस्जिद में आना मना है. Get my point?
Hmm.
So my point is that when they unite, the ultimate beneficiary is Deobandis.
Hmm.
Now it is proved by what? At the time of independence, the number of Deobandis in this country or Wahhabis was less than 20%, maybe 15%, maybe 10%. I don't have figures, but it is certainly less than 20%. Today it is almost 50%, 40 to 45%, even 50%. There is no survey available.
Hmm.
How it has spread? Because of the
Conversion from other
and
sects.
I have been promoting one theory which should find recognition now. I think.
Hmm.
You see, this Waqf property,
Hmm.
a large part of this Waqf property is dargahs.
Hmm.
Correct? But Waqf boards are only two, Shia and Sunni.
Hmm.
Waqf boards are only two, Shia and Sunni. So those who don't control dargahs, don't believe in dargahs, why should they control the dargahs, Those who don't believe in dargah worship.
Hmm.
Correct? So what I am saying is that there should be two Waqf boards. One Deobandi Sunni Waqf board, which will not control dargahs,
Hmm.
and one Barelvi Sunni Waqf board, which will control dargahs. There should be one more Waqf board. You should divide the present Sunni Waqf board into two parts.
Hmm.
Deobandi Sunni Waqf board, Barelvi Sunni Waqf board.
Hmm.
This is what also I have been propagating.
But lastly, you have given a sort of a path for Hindu-Muslim unity when you are talking about the path through national pride. Of course, you have talked about Brigadier Usman or Captain Hamid, and there are many, Dr. APJ
Gardi.
Abdul Kalam, Ibrahim Gardi, even
Ashrafullah Khan.
Ashfaqullah Khan. So, where do you see this process of reconciliation of the if it is not the typical Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb kind, or uh, Hindu-Muslim unity at any cost kind? What is the path that you are
See, that is
proposing?
what I have written in this chapter.
Mm,
In the first place, nobody is having a direct dialogue on actual friction.
mm,
Correct?
mm,
There should be direct dialogue. Hindus should have a Hindu leadership, should have a direct dialogue with Muslims.
mm,
And this should define the way.
mm,
As I told you earlier in the same podcast,
mm,
that you have to tell them clearly. If Khilji was a hero,
mm.
then there is no space for you in the mainstream.
No, basically, you need to understand that most of the Muslims in India are not the, uh, as I say, they are the victims of Islamic invasion and not the
Correct, but
waris.
they've been radicalized. No?
They have been ready. But no, but they are the victims of Islamic invasion, not the waris of Islamic invasion.
But then they are radical.
Mm.
Many
No,
of them.
but unfortunately, nobody has talked to
So
the
such
Muslim
dialogue
community.
has to be had with them. And I have defined many points in this, and very boldly rather,
So you are still hopeful for this.
There is some space, yeah.
Mhm.
There is some space. Because you see, my study of Muslims is a 24-hour thing.
Mm.
And my biggest asset is that I can change my view in 2 minutes if I get good evidence.
Mm.
I don't cling on
And
to views.
where is the possibility of this dialogue? Who can?
For example, when I used to go to villages as a journalist, है ना? I used to tell them, you see, Nabi ka julus, Prophet Muhammad's birthday celebration, is not done by Wahhabis.
Mm.
It is done only by Barelvis. So whenever I used to go to a village, I would catch hold of some Barelvi, and tell him that जुलूस निकलता है? हाँ, निकलता है. कितने आदमी आते हैं? साहब अब तो 50-100 आदमी आते हैं. 15 साल पहले कितने आते थे? सर 15 साल पहले तो 400-500 आदमी आते थे. Which means they have converted to Wahhabism. Barelvis have converted to Wahhabism. That is a signal.
No, but where do you see this space for dialogue? Who can lead this? Because people are really concerned about what is happening in Bengal, what is happening in Kerala. Will it lead to another?
No. You see, what is happening is that all our actions and the actions of Congress, we are cementing Deobandism, Wahhabism.
So basically,
strategy should be-
we need to understand Islam better. We need to understand plus Bharat better, and we need to understand
radical
even
Islamic
Islam
movements,
better.
moderate movements, relatively moderate movements. It is a very complex issue.
And you are hopeful about this process.
I have some hope. Because for example, I had gone to attend one birthday party. This gentleman was in Navy. He was a JCO. And his mother was a Deobandi. Correct? He was to be always appeared to me as liberal. Correct? I saw that a lot of women there wearing modern clothes. Very dignified, but modern clothes. Pant, shirt, top, So, you see, as I told you, I study, So, the lady who was the most modern lady, I called him, who is this lady? बोले मेरे भाई की साली है ये. So there is an aspirational class in Muslims also. One thing is certain. A Deobandi who has gone to a madrasa, it is very difficult to change his mindset. But those who have not gone to madrasa, you can bring some change in them. Some change.
So
Bareilwis will be much more receptive to such measures.
So this you have almost redefined the idea of
In this book, I have also spoken about RSS, how RSS has been maligned, then how Pujya Guruji is the ideological icon of India. So those things also I have dealt with.
Yes. So you have almost comprehensively redefined what you have called as the unalloyed nationalism. And if one has to follow nation first approach in life, what are 2-3 things that you would suggest for common Indians?
You see, corruption in every form is bad. It is condemnable.
Hmm.
But the corruption of this kind which I am describing now,
Hmm.
taking money in transfers, postings, appointments of government officers, which was the order of the day during Congress rule,
Hmm.
Taking money for giving tickets,
Hmm.
party tickets.
Hmm.
I think that is the worst form of corruption.
Hmm.
And corruption on the whole is condemnable, but this kind of corruption is worse.
Hmm.
So anybody who is taking money in the transfer appointments,
And you're talking
he
about
cannot talk
you-
about
you-
Shivaji, Rana Pratap and Savarkar.
you're nowadays you are talking about the moral corruption also.
Yes.
The in terms of character you're talking about the kind of content
No,
that is
that,
based.
that is also based on nation first.
Hmm.
I am running a nationwide movement
Hmm.
to stop pornography in the country completely.
Hmm.
Based on my research, that 80% of the rape cases happening in this country are provoked by
The pornographical
pornography and such content. I'll give you two examples. In the last 8 months, there have been 15 to 20 cases of brother raping sister after seeing porn. There are 10 to 15 cases of father raping daughter after seeing porn. And there is one case where a person got drunk, saw porn and raped his own mother. There is one example. Or these are all official. It is happening on a much larger scale in slums, basically, because there is space is less. Parents leave in the morning, they leave a phone for communication, and children see that stuff. This stuff is coming almost 24 hours now. Correct. And second example is of a doctor in Nashik. His 16-year-old son got after him that, Baba, please put me in hostel. Please put me in hostel. So he got suspicious. He thought that this fellow is a gay. He sent him to a psychologist. What came out was earth-shattering. He said that I am such a big porn addict that I see such figures in my mother and sister also in my house. And I feel, I know that it's a big sin. Therefore, I am after my father that to put me in a hostel.
Hmm.
So, while we may talk about liberalism, you have to close the tap from where this dirt is coming.
Hmm.
There is no other way. Correct? In Gulf countries, only 10% of is coming of what comes in India. Same ratio is there in Singapore. Even China is controlled. China's TikTok in other countries is selling porn, but there it is a device for education.
Hmm.
Correct? So, you see, we have taken a vow to become a great nation by 2047. Nobody has any doubt that we would be an economic superpower, military superpower, scientific superpower by not 2047, by 2037. But will that India be a culturally pauper nation? That is my one. Another point is, we have taken many pledges under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, who has done a wonderful job of governance. He has done a wonderful job. The AI Summit is a big success. Big success. And he's taking us in the direction of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. You know, the way he's talking about AI, what he spoke yesterday. I mean, he's implementing the vision of the great leaders of this country, of Vivekananda, of Sri Aurobindo, of Sri Guruji, of Savarkar. Correct? So, we have taken many pledges in the last 10 years and we have achieved those pledges. We have attained those objectives. For example, digitalization. We
Green
are number
energy.
one in the world.
Green energy.
Green energy, correct? So let us take one more vow that India will become world's first perverted content-free nation. And it is possible. Two AI experts came to meet me recently and they told me that government, it is very easy, Mr. Mahurkar. How? He said, bring a law making internet providers like Jio, Airtel responsible that not a single pornographic picture will go through their internet line. I said, technically, how is it possible? It is possible through AI. If they use AI, not a single photo will go. Another thing which I suggested to a very senior person in this government is that they should strengthen the Indecent Representation of Women into bracket Prohibition Act, where I think the maximum punishment is 3 years jail. It should be extended to 10 years. Huh? No bail for 3 years. Somebody told me no bail for 3 years. This is a provision for terrorists. I said they are cultural terrorists. They are doing more. Mark my words. They are doing more damage to this country than the damage afflicted by Khilji, Aurangzeb, Lodi, Tughlaq. They are worse than them. They could not destroy our culture. Here we will become sex animals, Even Western countries have now woken up to this after learning the bad experience. After having a bad experience, they have now turning towards this. Australia has banned it for under
Children.
16, So I think I appeal to the present government कि on one side is the great progress we have made and we are going to make. On one side is this challenge.
This cannot be either or.
This can destroy all the
Success that we
achievements
have
which
achieved.
done. This can destroy the dream of Savarkar, Vivekanand, Sri Aurobindo, my Guru Swami Pramananji. And you see, we swear by these great people, If on their path, if there is a roadblock, is it not our duty to remove that? Secondly, we used to take a pledge in school that every Indian is my brother and sister. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. Should we not feel? Should we not be sensitive enough to feel that my brothers and sisters are getting spoiled? And leave aside nation, brothers and sisters, Your own son is not safe. In Haryana, 2 years ago, they gave tablets to students, school-going students, for educational purpose, which filters. All the boys and girls had broken those filters and they were seeing pornography. And if if there is a young man or a young boy, he is going to see. We got figures from East Godavari district. Vijayawada is the district headquarters. 220 rapes were committed in 1 year. 80% of the accused were below 18 years. Correct? And all were committing the crime after seeing pornography. So this is, and I have spoken to anti-rape activists, leading anti-rape activists of the country. All of them agree with me, this is the main cause of rapes. So this is India's biggest challenge. I think we should move fast and we should ban it altogether. Was this there 50 years ago? And it is a issue of mental health now. It is an issue of mental health. A culture which says कि पर स्त्री पे गलत नजर डालना भी पाप है.
मातृवत परदारेशु.
तो हमारी जवाबदारी बनती है.
So, Uday bhai, we discuss at length your idea of nation first, and along with that, the work that you are doing to stop pornography, and that is also in a way nation first approach.
It is based on nation first.
Nation first approach. So, thank you very much.
You see, as RTI commissioner, when I was RTI commissioner for 3 years, I had established a record of highest number of disposals in 3 years. I disposed 14,400 appeals, which is, I think, the highest in the history of the commission. Commission is there for 20 years. So I could have longed for something, But I decided to devote my energy to this cause. Because I felt that my ancestor had fought in the Battle of Panipat. My ancestor had fought against Tipu Sultan in the Battle of Badami Fort, 1786. So I must do something which makes difference to my nation and to my society.
So, thank you, Uday bhai, for sparing your time and sharing your ideas and your book my idea of nation first. Uh, we are on behalf of Organizer. We really thank you, and
I thank you for having me.
namaste.
It's a great opportunity.
So, viewers, this was Uday Mahurkar, and uh, of course, there are many things in this book which you need to understand only after reading the book. Some of the ideas we try to, share with you through this frank and very clear conversation with the author Uday Mahurkar. This is the book, and I hope you get hold of it and try to read in personal basis, so that you may have a difference of opinion on certain things, but at least you understand the idea of
You should
nation
first
first.
read the introduction.
Yes. So with this, thank you, viewers. Keep watching Organizer. Do subscribe, share your opinion, and of course, share the content with your friends and family members if you like them. Thank you very much for watching Organizer. Namaste, and thank you, Uday,
Thank you so
for
much.
coming to Organizer Studio.